My beloved brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this historic conference, we thank the Lord for inspiring the messages and the music that have edified us. We have truly enjoyed a spiritual feast. We know the restored gospel of Jesus Christ will bring hope and joy to people who will hear and heed his doctrine. We also know that each home can become a true sanctuary of faith, where peace, love, and the Spirit of the Lord may dwell. Of course, the crowning jewel of the restoration is the Holy Temple. Its sacred ordinances and covenants are pivotal to preparing a people who are ready to welcome the Savior at his second coming. Some of those visitors will be moved upon to know more. Some will sincerely ask how they might qualify for the blessings of the temple. As members of the church, we need to be prepared to answer their questions. We can explain that the blessings of the temple are available to any and all people who will prepare themselves. But before they can enter a dedicated temple, they need to qualify. The Lord wants all his children to partake of the eternal blessings available in his temple. He has directed what each person must do to qualify to enter his holy house. All requirements to enter the temple relate to personal holiness. To assess that readiness, each person who wants to enjoy the blessings of the temple will have 2 interviews. First, with a bishop, bishopric counselor, or branch president. Second, with a stake or mission president or one of his counselors. In those interviews, several questions will be asked. Some of those questions have recently been edited for clarity. I would like to review them for you now. Do you strive to be honest in all that you do? Are you a full tithe payer?
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Move in close to the screen here so you can hear me better with the fan that I now have to have going. I should have done this video on Monday because that's when it happened according to the gospel narratives. But I didn't think to do this. Nelson's video that I found out he did on Palm Sunday sort of messed it all up. And I should hear it again to see if he says palm branches or palm leaves. Big difference, because it's palm branches. And there's a significance to that because it represents him being the last days Messiah. Wait a minute, Jesus, the last days Messiah in the Roman period? I've done those videos. We're not talking about that one. We're talking about the events on Monday. And it's technically about the cedar of Lebanon from Ezekiel. But of course I've done the video telling you it came from Egypt. So what happened on Monday? Well, he cleansed the temple. And I'm not talking about getting on his hands and knees and using Mr. Bubbles or whatever, Mr. Clean, whatever they are. No, he pulled out a whip. He made a whip. He whipped them good. Or you can use the, what's their names? The other Whippet song from the disco era. The original Whippet song. And so, what was he doing whipping people at the temple? He wasn't whipping just anybody. He was whipping the money changers. The money changers thought it would be cool to make a profit off of those going to worship in the temple. I should have pulled it up before. Isaiah has a passage buy. Seriously? Without money. Price. Okay, you're sticking with the 8. Alright. So Isaiah 55. Ho! Hi ho! Get back to work ye go. Everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy, without money, so he's not really buying, and eat. Yea, come buy, no money, not really buying, wine and milk, without money and without price. So what's he talking about? Yeah, your eternal salvation. But how do you get to that point? You live a good life and you put hate comments on Travis's YouTube channel. No, temple rituals. That's what he's talking about here. Temple rituals are supposed to be free. Baptism, free. Initiatories, the washings where you become a high priest, free. The anointings where you become Christ, free. Christ, what? What is the Greek word for anoint? Christen. And so that's what Jesus was doing. These money changers were trying to profit off of those who were annually going to the temple for the big feast that they took every year for Passover. And what was Passover? See, I went over yesterday. Church doesn't want you to know. They're purposely keeping Passover silent and secret. Sacred secret. Passover is about the Exodus. This Saturday, the 7th day, and it carries over into the 8th, is the Exodus day. And this one, right now, that we're in, is special. Precious and few are the moments we too can share. Because that's when the parting of the Reed Sea. No, Travis, you got that wrong again. It's the Red Sea. No, it's the Reed Sea. It's in the Hebrew Bible. And it refers to the afterlife. Oh, so temple rituals, afterlife. Oh, yeah. How does it represent the afterlife again? The field of reeds. There's a sea that you navigate in the field of reeds. It's the spirit world, literally, where you wait until your resurrection and ascension, which Nelson refuses to acknowledge Jesus did. Why? Why did Jesus not ascend? Who's one who never ascends? Who's the son of the morning? Who fell from heaven? Who never ascends? Whose symbol is on the keystone of the arch of the door of the Salt Lake Temple, where we all get our pictures taken when we get sealed in room number 13. At least I got sealed with Karen in room number 13. That's why he will not acknowledge ascension of Jesus. And yes, it is different than Christians who believe it was 40 days later when he ascended. But he's eating. He's letting people touch the wounds. He ascended because John says to his woman, which means he's had children with her. It's his wife. A woman who has had children is now called a woman. If you have not had children, longer a virgin. So, yes, women, I know they've changed that for you. Now, if you think about it, you're no longer a virgin. If you wear a swimsuit to the beach, you're no longer a virgin. Yeah, I know the horrors you've been through. I understand. But the whole temple rituals is based on this. And so the parting of the waters and the dry land appearing. Dry land? Seriously? That quickly? Shouldn't it be mud? Wouldn't they get stuck in the mud? Yes, they would, if that were the real history. It's not. It's talking about the afterlife. And so, and that goes back to the creation story. Remember Genesis 1? The waters were separated from the waters and the dry land appeared. Oh, yeah. And yes, it all comes from Egyptian. Because not even the Jews understand that that's their origin for it. And so this whole time is about Passover. It's not about Easter. It's about Moses, the latter-day Moses, the latter-day Messiah, according to the learning of the Jews, which Nelson refuses to acknowledge the Book of Mormon as the keystone of Mormonism. He's more concerned about the non-ascended God. And so, what's number 10 in the Temple Recommend interview questions for worthiness? What, you've forgotten? Oh, they extended it to 2 years? So that you don't remember the questions of what you're supposed to be obedient and worthy for? Yeah, number 10 is tithing. Remember, that's been in the news lately, thanks to James Huntsman's lawsuit, except he got it wrong. If the church is demanding you pay in order to go through the temple to receive your rituals for your afterlife, guess what? It's not a charitable donation. Those are all the other things, such as giving money to the poor, which the church doesn't do very well with because we still have poor. Remember the Zoramites in the Book of Mormon? The rich Zoramites refused to let the poor Zoramites who built the synagogue. Synagogue? What's a synagogue, Travis? Right, remember? Learning of the Jews. And so they were like, oh no, how do we worship our God if we can't pay to enter? And go up on the Rameumptom and give the same rote testimony. We thank thee, O God, that we are better than our brethren. What happened to them? Oh yeah, they were utterly destroyed. Just like the Jerusalemites, just like the Jaredites, just like the Nephites. I'm sensing a pattern in the Book of Mormon. And so, yeah, the church is violating Isaiah, forcing all of us to pay for our exaltation. And the church thinks there's nothing wrong with it. And yet, on Monday, we all celebrated, right? The remembrance that the temple rituals are supposed to be free.